Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever video on my channel, Top 5 WWE. Now quickly, for like maybe a minute or two, I'll just run down what I'm going to do on my channel. So obviously Top 5 WWE stuff, shenanigans, occasionally Top 10s. This podcast will be weekly, and I'll be doing it with a good buddy of mine, Dylan, if he wants to say hi, or Soccer Legend 194. I'll leave a link in the description. And basically what we're going to be doing on this podcast is talking about the three key things in the WWE at the moment, as well as a Raw review and occasionally NXT. I also want to point out that these will be going for at least 20 minutes, max 40 minutes, and the 40-minute ones will only be doing predictions or pay-per-view reviews. Anyway, so the three topics that are going to be on our minds today are Y2AJ and AJ Styles forming a tag team, Undertaker and Shane McMahon, as well as the angle between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Triple H. So, anyway, starting off, we're going to start off with the Shane McMahon. He's back. I mean, it's been a week and everybody's already talking about it, but just to recap, he's back, and I mean, what conflict do you reckon it's going to be causing for WWE now that he's in the feud with Taker?
Well, I think that the business side of things is good for them because a lot of people, including me, we've been like waiting to see his return. We're so hyped for it and everything. Now that he's actually back, I think that I think it's really good to have him back, and I hope he does some good things for the company.
I reckon it will raise some conflict because this is probably the first year that Taker's ever wanted to. People are wanting Taker to lose because of the brand split.
Guess that is true.
I mean, everybody wants a brand split, but nobody wants to see Taker lose at Mania again.
I think it's going to be interesting, like how the fans will react to Taker, because everyone loves him, but we all love Shane O'Mac as well, and we wanted to become general manager of Raw. So
brand split.
It'll be interesting to see how this one weighs out.
Well, that's the thing, because if they make a brand split, look at the current roster now. I imagine sitting through, 3 hours of half that roster.
Yep. Half of them are injured, so...
Yeah. I mean, they'd really probably make Taker win at Mania, and then have Shane still run Raw, but when Cena, Orton, Rollins, whoever else is injured, once they all came back, so they can actually get a full roster going, because remember, it's supposed to be Taker's last match now, but obviously Cena can't do his Wapa-do magic and come back. But yeah, I don't know how this one's going to play out, really. I don't know if they're still going to run with the whole Shane-Taker feud, because I don't think it's a match. It's a match that we definitely want to see, but it's a match that we don't know who's gonna win, because we want, as much as we want Shane to make a brand split again, we also don't want Taker to lose in his home state. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Especially if it is Taker's last Mania, I don't think a lot of us want to lose.
Well, here's the thing. I was hearing some rumors and some leaks that Taker did want to face Cena, but then the whole shoulder pop with Cena happened, so it just, I guess, depends what they're going to do next year, because Taker is, nearly in his 60s, and you can't really make an old man wrestle.
I guess that is a valid point.
I mean, Survivor Series 2015, the sloppy chokeslam. He can't even perform half his moves anymore.
Nah, Sting's too old for that shit.
Yeah, I guess. But that'll definitely be interesting. I mean, we had Taker on Raw, which I'm surprised Shane wasn't on, because that Taker segment didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I was dying for Shane to come on, but I don't get what Taker said. He just comes on telling Vince that the blood of his son is on his hands, and he just walked off. I don't understand the point of that. Like, why didn't they get Shane come back to I don't know, confront the Taker or make something out of that? That was just a waste of
Because
time.
otherwise they're just going to replay the feud from Bray Wyatt, where Bray Wyatt created the feud on his own last year.
Basically, just going to keep repeating themselves.
Yeah, and then every week they're just going to fight back, and one of them's not going to face-to-face. They'll probably have a contract signing before Mania, but other than that...
Yup.
I don't really know.
What are we going to talk about next?
On the topic of Bray Wyatt, what's he doing at Mania?
Bray at Mania? I don't know.
Do we even want him at Mania? He's had, 5 straight losses at a pay-per-view?
I don't know, but I would love to see Braun Strowman versus Bayley in a hug match. No, just kidding. I'm honestly not sure what they're going to do if they book him at Mania. I hope they do something good, but in reality, that's not going to happen, so...
They can't make him lose, 3 straight Manias in a row.
Well, it's WWE, so they might.
I mean, he's a good performer. I mean, I love his character. It's just the WWE, what are they doing with him?
Yup.
WWE...
And Braun Strowman can't really wrestle long matches, so... But, that's cool. He can, if he does have a hug match with Bayley, then he can just hug her for, 20 minutes. That's alright.
I don't know. I honestly thought Bray Wyatt by now would have at least been a US Intercontinental Champion, but...
Yeah, I reckon that they definitely should have booked them as champions. Tag team champs, that would have been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, back in their prime with Eric Rowan and Harper, they really screwed up there. They should have made them tag champs, especially with the Braun Strowman. He's not a good wrestler at all. At the moment, at the rate that WWE going at right now, the best we're going to see of Bray, Strowman, Harper, Rowan are in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, Battle Royale. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
Will they even do that this year? I mean, Hulk Hogan created it.
So it's kind of a waste of talent.
It's basically the people who wanted to get booked on Mania but couldn't get a deal on Mania, I guess.
Yeah, that's...
For a meaningless trophy.
Yeah, basically, meaningless trophy. What? Meaningless trophy, that means absolutely nothing. It's just no point.
The least it could give you is a title shot.
Yeah, the least they could do is give them at least some sort of push, whether it be a title shot or even for a US title or Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with those 2 titles. I mean, I don't want to see Owens versus Ziggler again.
We don't want to see Cena versus anyone.
I was honestly expecting it to be Styles versus Jericho versus Owens for the belt, but that's not going to happen. We obviously saw the Wyatt going to verse Lesnar, but that didn't happen.
No.
We'll get to the Dean Ambrose thing later, but...
Yup.
I don't know. The Wyatts... I guess we can talk about... It's a good time to talk about Raw now, and Raw was really bad. I mean, Roman Reigns no-sold it. No-showed it.
Yep. I wonder what they're going to do with the Wyatts now.
I mean, Roman, I guess, broke his nose, or whatever he did to his nose, but at least have him via satellite. I mean, if you're going to book the man for the main event of WrestleMania, what's the point in no-showing him?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was, first of all, I think that was the kayfabe when he broke his nose. I don't think that was real.
I think that was just time off, because, I mean, give the man a break for God's sakes. He's been being pushed too much.
People are so bored of him that they decided he should take time off. So, I mean, fair enough.
I mean, Ambrose came out. That was good. We'll get to that, obviously, later as well, but...
Yeah, we will.
Raw wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't a good show.
Yeah, I wasn't entertained at any point during Raw.
I mean, I thought the Taker thing was gonna, Shane and Taker, it was gonna be a massive thing, and nope, we just got, a 2-minute promo from Taker, and then...
They left us with Undertaker just holding Vince McMahon's throat for 2 minutes.
Just cutting a 2-minute promo. It's that's it.
Exactly.
A meaningless promo, which he didn't even, mention any good thing about it.
Nope.
But anyway, the only thing good that came out of Raw was probably the Becky Lynch Sasha match. That was actually a pretty good match, but yeah, they've still booked it as a draw. I was hoping to see Bailey by now come up, and they're gonna have like the 4 horsewomen fatal 4-way at Mania for the Divas belt or something like that.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the 4 horsewomen compete in a titles match at Mania, but
I mean, they did release that new thing on the network, so that's what led me to believe that Bailey's coming up fairly soon. Maybe she loses her title at Dallas Takeover, and then comes up like Enzo and Cass the night after. Or maybe remake a Paige debut and beat Charlotte.
yeah. Let's just hope WWE can do something with Mania for the top stars now.
Yeah, I know, this year is going to be a hard Mania for them, especially if Roman walks out champ. I mean, how many people around the world come to see Mania and they're going to be left in, like, yeah. I mean, as much as we all know it's coming, we don't want it to come. And
exactly.
I'm hoping WWE forget about that and they rebook Roman. They might give Roman a shot at Lesnar in the No Holds Barred match, and I mean, I guess it's safe to talk about it a little bit now with the whole new WWE Network the pay-per-view for the network coming up with Triple H versus Ambrose for the belt.
I'd love to see that match. Why can't we have any? Why are they putting it on a network exclusive? Like, everyone wants to see it on TV.
I mean, I guess Triple H is already... I mean, they shouldn't have announced the Ambrose-Lesnar match, because now we know that
it's kind of
Ambrose is going to lose.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Ambrose is going to have to pull the match with Lesnar and face Reigns, which is a match that we don't want to see again, because, let's face it, them two in the same ring, they can't put on a good match.
Well, considering Lesnar only knows how to suplex an F5, then basically.
I want to just personally see the Fatal 4-Way. Lesnar, Reigns, Ambrose, Triple H, because that's pretty much what they can only do with their talent right now. And then have I don't know, earlier on in the night, maybe a NXT title ladder match, or a US or an Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Something
I think that's a great idea. I think they should push some NXT talent onto main. Because
I mean, yeah, you had those guys. Before, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, they all said that they didn't want to move up because they would get bad booking, like Neville and Bo and all those guys who came off from NXT and got absolutely crap booking.
Yeah, I know they like to stay in NXT, but
there's going to be a point where there's going to be more superstars coming in and gonna have to. They're gonna have to push them up.
Yeah, I think because of all the injuries that are happening right now, they might be forced to bring some talent up. I don't know. As
much as the WWE don't want to, they're gonna have to. Let's face it. If WWE don't bring up talent soon, I don't know. WWE won't be WWE anymore.
Like, Vince McMahon doesn't care. He's like, what are you talking about? We have no talent. We have Roman Reigns. Like, that's the...
What are you talking about? We've got no talent. We've got John Cena. People aren't bored of him yet.
Yeah, we all love Roman, right? Right?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna get those Roman lovers in the comments that are like, why do you diss on Roman? Well, the reason we diss on Roman is because Roman he's getting shoved down our throats, all because we like The Rock and the Usos and...
Yeah, that brings them up the wrong way. The truth is that WWE don't know how to use their talent properly. That is a sad truth. Roman
Reigns was good as a tag champ. If only they kept the Shield together, which obviously they're going to have to break up at some point. And let's face it, with the right booking, Rollins would have been probably one of the best champs ever. Let's face it. I mean, The idea was originally for him to beat Punk's record. I mean, you already had Nikki Bella beat AJ's. The idea, I think, was for Rollins to beat Punk's because of reasons.
I do hope that the Shield reunites, though. I think everyone wants them to.
I mean, with the way Roman's going,
It'll be good to see that. I want them to come. Sorry?
with the way Roman's going.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's kind of cheats on his. Yeah,
If they turn Roman heel, then they somehow bring Rollins back as a face and then try and get Roman over with the crowd. Maybe the Shield can make something work, but as for now, with the whole Roman situation, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's a very sad truth, but honestly, I liked Roman, but as soon as he departed from the Shield, they didn't book him correctly. With the right booking, Roman could have been easily the next Batista, he could have been the next big guy, it's just like Ryback. Ryback was supposed to be the next big thing.
I agree. So now I think we should move on to our next topic. Y2AJ.
What is going on with that? I mean, they had the whole rivalry since the Rumble. I mean, what's going on with that?
I find that kind of stupid. They have a rivalry now, all of a sudden they like each other. I don't know how that happened.
If they win the belts from the New Day, I don't want to see. I want to see AJ as champion. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate AJ. I love AJ. It's just Y2J doesn't deserve a belt anymore. I mean, he's had too many belts. He's what, a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, a how many time Tag Champ? I think he deserves to stay as just a guy who helps young talent come up to the roster or he basically puts over superstars. Yeah, I think that Jericho's time is nearly up now, and I'd like to see him go work at, I don't know, maybe the NXT Development Center, train some young talent, and I think a lot of people agree. We all want to see AJ Styles, at least I do. I want to see AJ Styles go on an individual career. I want to see him go on to win, I don't know, maybe the Intercontinental title. Yeah, sure, we don't want to see him. Okay, now I'm not dissing on the people who say this, but let's face it, we don't want to see AJ as a WWE champ before all the haters come in. Let's face it, he's been all around the world. He's been in nearly every big promotion that you can probably think of, from TNA to Ring of Honor to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and how many belts has he won through that? I'd like to see AJ come back and actually be a wrestler, not go straight to the main event of Mania within a year. I would like to see him live out a WWE superstar's career as going from an IC US champion, somebody who puts people over. Because if there's somebody that can put young talent over and that can make a good match, it's definitely Styles. Yeah, I agree 100%. He says what he is. He is phenomenal in the ring. He's got a great moveset. And with the right booking, Styles could also become one of the best WWE superstars that have ever... He's already one of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, why not make him even more than that? Yeah, I agree. I'd love to see him, especially because now that they've kind of made the Intercontinental title, they kind of made it for the technicians of the company. I'd love to see him win that. I think it just suits him. Unless they bring back the Cruiserweight in the new Cruiserweight tournament, that we'll speak about that in another podcast, but unless they do something with that and actually bring back a belt and not just a trophy. I mean, I heard a lot of New Japan guys coming in for that position. As much as I think none of them will win it, as much as I think Kalisto or Sin Cara will win, I'm not quite sure. But definitely AJ shouldn't be winning the WWE title at all. He came to the WWE to put people over. He shouldn't be the next John Cena of the WWE. No, like, the only reason I'll be perfectly fine with him winning the WWE title is if they book it correctly. I don't want him to be pushed or anything like you said. Yeah, I don't want him to take on... Because, I mean, look what happened with Reigns. We liked him at one point, and then they just overbooked him, and... Yeah. How many pay-per-views in a row was he, like, the main event. I mean, especially with rebooking the whole Daniel Bryan situation, that definitely hurt the WWE, especially because Bryan just retired, so they screwed up in that domain. But they definitely don't need AJ as the champ. It's just keep him away from that belt. Leave that to the main eventers. Leave that to Rollins, Ambrose, Reigns, Owens even. Have Styles take the belt from Owens and then move Owens up to the upper card when Finn Balor and Sami Zayn come up and they start taking on, and then they can have the whole Sami Zayn Owens feud, but on this time on the main roster for a bigger belt. That's what I think should happen.
And I'd love to see, just if the NXT talent do come up, who wouldn't like to see a Finn Balor versus AJ Styles match? That would be a dream match for me.
And honestly, as soon as Sami Zayn and Finn Balor come up, they need to book them as championship material. Main eventers, definitely. Easily. They deserve it. Styles, not so much, like I mentioned earlier. That's why I don't want Y2AJ to win the belts back to them. I think New Day should keep them. Actually, they can win them as long as they lose them at Mania, and then the people who win them at Mania lose it to Enzo and Cass the night after Mania. Because remember, they're debuting after Mania, so you know.
Alright, should we move on to our next topic, or are we going to talk about this more?
Well, I think we're gonna move on to our last topic, which is the Rocket Mania. And this wasn't in my mind at the moment, but we're talking about Reigns and Usos, and so I just thought, what's The Rock gonna do at Mania? Because I mean, it was originally supposed to be Rock versus Triple H. Where do you think that's heading? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what The Rock's gonna do at Mania. I don't know. I don't know what he should do.
His promo last year was nonsense.
Like if they just repeat what they did, when they did that segment when Ronda Rousey came out and shit.
Remember, that was just like fill-in time, so.
Yeah, I don't see a space for The Rock at Mania.
And he said he's gonna definitely be there, so maybe a backstage segment, maybe a special guest announcer.
Even a special guest referee for the Roman vs. Triple H.
Well, apparently I heard that Roman vs. Triple H was supposed to be Shawn Michaels as a referee, but with the whole Ambrose feud, I mean, we know Triple H is probably gonna take the belt and retain it at Roadblock, but you still got that Ambrose situation. What if he does win it? What if it's Roman versus Ambrose again? What happens with Triple H? Then I feel like it's a little bit too late. I mean, there's 3 weeks till Mania, and they haven't even booked. They're just about to book if Reigns is gonna versus Ambrose, or if Reigns is gonna versus Triple H. I definitely think they should have done this all at Fastlane. It seems like WWE Creative ran out of ideas. True?
I can 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. They ran out of ideas and they've just rushed it all to the last minute.
Yeah, just rushing everyone out. Top stars are out, so they're just pushing Roman too far, try to fill that gap.
Yeah.
And I think that they're trying too much with Roman. They should just... I'm not saying that he shouldn't be like a top starter, but they should just stop with all this bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait till Mania. I mean, our predictions will be up for Mania as soon as every single match is announced. But the exact last segment of this podcast will be a bold prediction on what we think will happen, either the next Raw or Mania or a future pay-per-view. And that'll be every podcast at the end. So, Dylan, if you want to take it away, what's your bold prediction?
My prediction for what are you talking about, Raw?
What's your bold prediction just for I guess Mania? What's What's a prediction that you think will play out in future, or maybe on Raw, or maybe at Mania? What do you think will happen? What's your bold prediction?
Well, I'm not sure if this will happen, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe we can see a Roman heel turn at Mania. I'm thinking that we're going to see a Roman and Dean split up as well.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. My bold prediction is definitely after Mania. The night after Mania, you'll see Reigns holding the belt, everybody booing, Reigns coming out. He's like, yeah, I won the championship. And then The Rock coming out, like, celebrating and then saying, well, look, this is your next opponent for Extreme Rules. Titantron, Rollins is back. That's my prediction for the future for Extreme Rules. And I want to see that happen. I want to see the Rollins Reigns at.
Yeah,
and then that also leads on to yours with the Reigns heel turn.
Yeah, I'd love to see that if Reigns does turn heel in the night after, everyone would boo him even more. Imagine that. Then we can see Rollins return as the face. Then I'm ready for that.
That's definitely better.
Yeah. And then Ambrose, I guess he can do his own team. I don't want him to be involved if this does happen.
Ambrose should be the next Foley. Well, he already is the next Foley, but he needs to start a feud with somebody that's gonna actually make a feud of the year, maybe rivalry of the year. I mean, what's his last massive rivalry? Probably the one with Rollins in 2014. That was ages ago.
Yeah. We do want Ambrose to.
Yeah, we do want a good feud. And that's what it's sort of hard that everybody's injured, but other than that, I think we should wrap it up. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, remember to tune in next podcast, or tune in to my other videos, which will be hopefully next video will be a top 5. I will probably be recording it tonight. You never know, it might have Dylan in it. If he wants to be in any top 10s or top 5s, I guess he can. Go sub to his channel. He's trying to make videos more often. You'll see a video with him and me on his channel very, very soon. But if you guys did enjoy, remember to share it. Go check out his channel. If you want to leave a like, leave a like. If you want to sub. And I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.